Hello, my friends. Today I'm going to discuss the state quarter program. When it began, I was collecting coins from both mints, and I had a small binder that was designed for the first 3 years. I never completed that small set, and I gave up the hobby, but recently I purchased this binder for all 50. Um, my interest was renewed by checking out the awesome state park quarters that are now being issued. So I abandoned my quest to get one of each from both mints, making a total of 2 quarters for each design, and I just went to the more casual format of getting one of each quarter. So today I got my last coin that I needed for the 50 states, and the one that I needed the most was Missouri. So since my camera is poor, we're going to refer to YouTube while I discuss my thoughts on each design. So I've found a nice video, and the credit goes to MyTown83. That's the YouTube channel I'm using. And this is going to make it much better because I tried with 2 different cameras and just could not get my coins to show up. Let's begin. Delaware. Here's a gentleman riding his horse. I don't know the historical significance of many of these, so I'm just going to sort of note my thoughts on the aesthetic of each design. And they were issued in the order that the states, well, joined the United States or ratified the Constitution or something like that. So here he is on his historic horse ride. And to me, it's not really that pleasing. I'm not really into equestrian sports or anything, even though I do live in Kentucky. So there are far better designs. Okay. Oops. Let's just get it going here. Alright. So here's Pennsylvania. I did live in Pennsylvania for a while, for about 6 months. I'm fond of the state, and I'm fond of this design. The statue in the center is very appealing. She is exciting. I like the concepts of virtue, liberty, and independence. I'm really uncertain about what this is. I'll have to do a little investigating. But a beautiful sculpt of the statue. Okay, I did find out that this is George Washington, and this is, although it's a busy design, I think it's very nice. Although the individual boat people do become indeterminate little blurs, I still think it's a good design, and it really evokes in me a sensation that I'm seeing history taking place. Jersey. So here's Georgia. I like this design. I'm especially interested in the concept of moderation and wisdom and justice. I just think that maybe they could have chosen something other than a peach. Okay, I also lived in Connecticut for about 9 months. I'm sure the Charter Oak has quite a lot to do with the history of the state, but this is one of the worst designs. Isn't that just dreadful? I suppose if we consider it as like dendritic parts of the human brain, it's more exciting, but almost anything would have been better than, even just the silhouette, anything would have been better than that. Ugh. They do, I believe, get much better as the years go on. So the later designs, maybe the other states were kind of watching what was happening and decided they wanted to one-up everyone. So they did get better as the years went by. I do have a least favorite we'll get to soon. Alright, so he's there with his rifle, engaged in some patriotism, some country building, and And I do like the appearance of the bay, and I like Boston. So I think this is a really successful design. He's a dynamic fellow there. Alright, my copy of the Maryland Quarter is a little worn and dull, so it may be one of the only ones that I try to replace with like a little bit of a better coin. This design, I can't say I like it too much. I do like plant matter, and I like seeing nature being included in the designs. Not sure what plant that is, although it's balanced nicely. Just not that much into it. Maybe if they use a little bit of a different architecture. Okay, South Carolina, probably my favorite so far. I love the beautiful bird and the palm tree. And I visited South Carolina many times as a young boy. My father was really into golfing, so especially the tourist area of Myrtle Beach, very renowned for having lots and lots of golf courses. So we would often go. Probably went once a year for, well, at least 5 years, probably even more. So I'm fond of the state, fond of their quarter. Okay, here we go. Look at this awful, awful design. I'm certain that when you're standing there taking in the actual rock formation, the Old Man of the Mountain, it's really striking. It moves you. It probably creates a great situation for bonding with your fellow hikers, but terrible, terrible, terrible design. Just a really muddy little blob. Live free or die, I like, but not the design. Okay, beautiful sailing ships making their way across maybe the ocean, maybe heading off to do some endeavors. I need to research a little bit more our country's history and what formed these designs. All right, New York. This one's really, really well done. The statue herself is kind of in a really great place, creating a good off-centered balance. Beautiful design. Really, really well done. Okay, can't say I like this one too much, just because well, it's just two streaks, really, if you squint your eyes. Oh yes, isn't that gorgeous? The sailing and the nautical themed ones are definitely make up some of my favorites. Beautiful. I took sailing class in college, and so for a whole semester we did some sailing, so I love it. Freedom and unity. Fantastic concepts. Vermont, known for its maple syrup, so we're tapping some trees here. I'm not really certain, I don't think they top the trees, chop off the tops of them. These are probably intact trees, but they're just supposed to go up behind the name of the state. I'm not certain to me, but they just look like they've been chopped off. I don't know if that's typical of what really happens, but so it's not really one of my favorite designs. It just makes those trees look unhappy. Here we go, my home state, Kentucky. I would have enjoyed a different design more, maybe like a Mammoth Cave design, but what can you do? Still attractively presented, balanced well, and definitely not a bad design. Okay, Tennessee. I'm a musician, and I love this design. I think that's fantastic. There are two different, well, there's trumpets or trumpets featured on 2 different state quarters. So they could have chosen maybe another instrument that's more popular with roots or old time country music, but it's still an excellent design. Okay, outer space themes. Great. Great job, Ohio. Really putting me in the mood for exploration. Right, here's that other trumpet actually producing some musical notes. If we superimpose the staff, we might even be able to find out what what little melodies being played there. And so at this point, the other states are probably getting a good look at what's happening in the culture of these new quarters and increasing the quality of their design. So this one's very well done. I like the bird. I like all of them with birds. Okay, a race car doesn't really evoke in me a sensation that I'm proud of our country's heritage, where we've come from or where we're going, so I think this is kind of a poor design. I would have preferred something a little better. Okay, this one eluded me for a little while. At work, I got like 6 quarters that I needed one day, and then I came in the next day and got another 5 or 6 quarters I needed. And the next day, I couldn't find even one that I needed. So I thought I was going to have more trouble finding a Mississippi than I did. The magnolia tree is very beautiful, but this design isn't. Just kind of a blob of petals. Nice try, though. Okay. Lincoln standing there, stepping through the silhouette of the state, making for an interesting design, an unusual design. I think it's kind of successful. It creates within me an unsettled sensation, which I like. The 21st century state. They could have chosen something maybe a little more modern to tack on there, though. This is beautiful, beautiful coin. It's got the Braille name of Helen Keller and Helen seated there. Gorgeous and well done. 2 different plants. It's a plus. Oh yeah, man. Really hit the nail on the head here. Simple. Lots of empty space. Very well used. Excellent design. Excellent design. Okay, Missouri. Actually, at work, I knew I needed a Missouri. I'd been thinking about it, and I thought, how many weeks, how many days, how many coins am I going to have to look at to get a Missouri? Actually, I popped open the register. The very first coin that I touched, it was right on top. I couldn't believe my eyes. The first coin I saw was the Missouri that I needed. And there they are. I don't really like the design, though. I'll have to research it and find out what it was about. Yeah, Arkansas. Actually, I think it's probably one of my favorites. Although I think some of them are a little bit better designed, this one has just all the elements I like. It's got some bling, it's got some wildlife, and some plants. And a good off-centered, well, a good balance of elements, unsymmetrical balance. So very cool. I love that big diamond, or whatever that is. Precious stone. Sorry, Michigan, you did a really poor job. They could have done maybe just the silhouette of the lakes and gotten rid of this roughly textured. I mean, actually, when I picked the coin up, I thought, has this design been tampered with or muddied in some way? They would have had actually quite a successful coin if they would have just used maybe the silhouette of the lakes. Beautiful coin. I'm liking what Florida came up with. Gateway to this, gateway to that. Great imagery, a great sensation of traveling into the unknown using all these different transportation methods. And then the land, also there, providing a base. Okay, Texas did it right. Simple, straightforward. Adding that extra band of rope around it really improved the look. Just very well done. Okay, Iowa. I'll have to research Grant Wood, but I like that it's one of those old-fashioned one-room schoolhouses. So it looks pretty good. Could have been maybe designed a touch better, but education is the foundation. Alright, Wisconsin. Oh, well, an attractive design. I like these different agricultural products. I love the very brusque, one word, forward, very appealing. And if you're ever sorting through a handful of change, look at your Wisconsin quarters, and if you see an extra leaf right here, it'll either be jutting up or it will be bent over near the cheese wheel, and then you're holding a very rare, popular, desirable coin that is worth about, well, at least $50 circulated, but probably more along the lines of 100 or 150. So always research your Wisconsin coins. Look for an extra leaf right here in this area. So probably my favorite coin, just for that. It provides a little bit more of a sensation of excitement, because even though I finished collecting the 50, I'm still looking for the ones that were issued after the 50. I can always take a look at those in Wisconsin's and hope to find something exciting. John Muir, great naturalist. I've seen a nice sculpture, a bust of him in a museum. Gorgeous design. Just has all the right elements, and it's orchestrated well. He's got some nice quotes I've read online. Okay, Minnesota did a fine job. This is one where all the elements are there, but it's just kind of eh. So the duck, or whatever, the mallard, that quite pointy little nose, kind of mimicking this pointy little portion of the state. Still, I like it, but not that much. Good effort. Oregon, also one where kind of the elements are in place, but I just don't really like the particulars of the design. Okay. I would say this was kind of a bad design choice. Alright, West Virginia. Beautiful natural beauty, wild and wonderful West Virginia. I think maybe they could have chosen a better design. I would have liked to have seen something better, but I'm certain the New River Gorge could have yielded anything better than that. Okay, my Nevada coin, I was really actually kind of thrilled when I gave it a really good, careful look, because this horse on my particular coin, it is struck so well that the horse's head looks like it's actually curving this way and looking out of the coin. It's really a magnificent strike. I think it's a little bit of a muddy look, though, not too much going on, but a solid attempt. Okay, Nebraska did a fine job here. Looks pretty good, not too much to complain about. It just evokes a lot of the sensations I like about what these quarters evoke, and it's well done. Colorado, on the other hand, not really so much. Colorful, huh? They could have done better. North Dakota, another one I don't really like. Just kind of poorly conceived, not really very aesthetic. Okay, this is beautiful. This is well done. It has all the right elements. Looks way better in person, and it's just everything's there, firing on all cylinders. We have wildlife, plant matter, great aesthetic design, nicely organized features of the coin. Another one of my favorites. Just love this big old skull. Awesome. Okay, Washington's awesome. Really well done. Really well done. And this huge bird of prey. Also quite a good design. This is, well, thinking about it or discussing it would lead you to think it was a good idea, but it's just I don't know, just the silhouette of this sportsman, this cowboy, or this it's just, I don't really like it. On the other hand, I do really like this one. I'm certain there are people out there who really know a lot about locomotives, and they probably had a really vocal person on the board of directors or something who said, yes, let's make sure that this is exactly right. That's the way it looked, you know. Oh heavens, there's an extra spout there. So someone probably got all in a fuss over it. Expertly done. I mean, this one's just great. Really good. Evokes a lot of good stuff. Oklahoma. Just gorgeous. Wonderful. Wonderful bird. I think this one is also quite well done. The Land of Enchantment, right? Right. And it's got some, looks like some nods towards Native American heritage. I think they did quite a good job there, even though it's not perfectly symmetrical. Here's another one that's a little bit muddy, although better done than some of the other ones that tried to go with this comparable imagery. Not terrible, but not really something I like either. Okay. Just awesome. Great design. Great land. And I also quite like this one. Balanced nicely. I wonder what it says. So that finishes it out. There are a couple of other quarters that were issued later, and I do not have any of those. I've seen them, I've had them in my hands a few times, but I wasn't actively collecting, so there are my thoughts. It's been actually quite a lot of fun. I would almost like to start over and do it all again, but I'm just looking forward now to the quarters featuring the state parks. And I think I've only got maybe 4 or 5 of them so far, but I'm having a good time evaluating quarters and looking for those designs.